What's up, sneaky people? It's your boy FB Kicks and Gear, and I am back with another video. And this time we have the Jordan 1 Off-White UNC Blue. Now, this video is not going to be a super long, drawn-out video because I do not have the authentic pair, so I can't really give you that one-to-one comparison that you're used to getting on this channel. But I do know a few quick legit check tips that you can use if you're on the market for this, so that you make sure you're not getting scammed. So I'm going to take those little bits of information that I do know, and I will hopefully help give you some tips, all while we enjoy some pretty cool shoes. So don't expect a 15-20 minute long video. With all that said, remember guys, just like with any other video, you can see pictures of everything that I talk about these shoes in the Instagram account that's popping up on the screen, so you know where to go to get more info and find more pictures. So with all that said, as always, we're going to talk about the box. Now, I am not going to focus too much on the actual box because I, one, do not have an authentic pair, so I can't compare the opening gimmick like this one does, right? Like you got it opens so you can see the inside, but I do have extensive experience with Nike box tags. So take a look at the box. The easiest by far indicator when looking at this box is taking a look at the gold Jumpman. This is way too bright, way too much going on here. This is not what authentic pairs look like. It's a lot more toned down. This looks like a mirror, like a goddamn mirror. So you know that that's not right. And more or less, just like with every other replica box, the text will be off in terms of weight, font, thickness, that kind of stuff. So pay attention to this, take a look at it, commit it to memory, and use that as a guide so you know what to avoid when it comes to this kind of stuff. So that's it for the box. Nothing too crazy. Like I did before, you guys know that it opens. Off-White shoes have this plastic liner as opposed to like the tissue paper that we're used to seeing. So Off-White Air Jordan, and that is it for the plastic on the inside. So here we have the replica Off-White Jordan UNC, and I will say this, by far the easiest way to be able to tell that one is a replica is that it's fresh, it's brand new, all of the mesh and everything is crisp, the foam isn't yellowing. That's how you know. These shoes were designed to age and to show age, and if you have a pair that isn't showing age in 2023, you are 99.999% dealing with a fake. So while that might not be a bad thing to most people, which is fine, this looks like it came off the factory yesterday. This is a newborn baby in terms of sneakers. So you know that it could not be the shoe that was made in 2018. So very, very, very easy thing to look at when it comes to that. Another thing, when it comes to reps, you will see, because they try so hard to have things line up, you will see pen marks and guidelines all over the place. Let's see if I can really find one. I see some little bits of remaining pen mark here on my pair, or on this pair here. Let's see. Usually you see it on the inside here, and you can see it. You see the guidelines. It's here as well, just harder to see. Usually that can be removed, so if somebody is trying to scam you, they can remove it with a hair dryer. But if they don't have the sense to do that, it's usually pretty easy to pick up. You just gotta find where edges meet. You can even see it on the blue leather. That's how they line up all the pieces of material. And for whatever reason, the rep factories don't get rid of it, but a hair dryer will get rid of it pretty easily. So there's that. The next thing, very easy in my opinion to really hone in on, is the ghost stitching around the shoe, particularly on the UNC blue leather and the white leather. This is super faint. It's supposed to look like there was stitching in there that was removed, and these are barely punched through almost like a needle just did it very faintly. It's not what they're supposed to look like. They're supposed to be a little bit more pronounced and visible, not like lace holes obviously, but definitely more pronounced than this. Actually, this is actually a pretty good indicator of what they should look like throughout the entire shoe. So notice how on this white suede or this tan gray suede here, how the holes are clean and perforated. That's how it should look like throughout the whole shoe, including the white leather and everything around here. So as you can see, definitely pretty shallow holes. I've heard of people that will go in and take a needle and go in each and every hole and open them up, but you know, that's their prerogative. That's a little excessive for me, but hey, you know what, this is a $2,000 shoe, so all the power to you. But you can see there that it is very, very faint. It should be more pronounced. On the other shoe, we're dealing with the same type of deal. Shallow pinholes, they should be way more pronounced, and they should look like this material here. And speaking of this material here, while it definitely does have the ghost stitching looking pretty good, this material should be a hairier, more textured suede here, while it almost looks like nubuck. When you really look up close and you feel it, it should be more textured. There should be a little bit more fraying. These edges are very, very clean. Generally not what you want to see in an authentic pair of these. Keep in mind, the theme of this shoe is unfinished, right? It's not supposed to look like a cleanly done shoe, but you know, the materials are supposed to be rough, but these are not. It's smooth, it's clean. So look for that texture. This is on a used pair, this is one of the materials that really takes on wear very quickly. So you'll know that if this looks pristine and they're claiming it to be a worn pair, more than likely fake. So take a look at that. The next thing that I like to look at is, it's kind of twofold, because reps have never ever gotten it right. And I don't know why. I can't explain why they don't get it right, but they have never gotten it right. And it's the same case here. This heel cup on the back of these shoes, the best way I can describe it is that this is like plaster. That makes sense. It's like there's like some kind of netting over here, and they put plaster or like paper mache over it, and that's how this material comes to be. It almost reminds me of like a cast or something. Well, the thing that reps tend to not get right when it comes to this back heel thing is, one, color, and two, the visual look. One, the color of this is supposed to be lighter than the UNC blue on the rest of the shoe, to the point where there's like a visual contrast. Rep factories seem to aim towards color matching whatever paint they paint this with to the upper leather, and that's not what authentic pairs look like. The heel cup is usually lighter in color than the rest of the shoe. On top of that, if you look closer at the shoe, you kind of see this grid pattern, right? Like you see these boxes kind of almost neatly arranged in a row where you just see grids throughout the shoe. That's whatever the underlayer is before they add the paint and the, you know, plaster or whatever the hell they use to make this. This should not be as visible as it is here. It should, to the point where you should barely be able to make out the pattern. On authentic pairs, whether they use more paint or more plaster or something like that to hide this grid pattern, on authentic pairs, it is just not as neat and patterned as this is. And you can see it on both shoes. Now, I will tell you, I've never, ever seen an authentic pair that has this neatly displayed like this. And the ironic part about that is the first pair, the Chicago Off-White Jordan 1s, this is exactly how they're supposed to look. They are supposed to have the grid pattern, but something changed between the production of the first shoe and the white colorway and this colorway, where they either made it thicker or whatever, but this pattern is almost never visible. You might see it in blotches here and there or whatever. It just doesn't look as consistent as the way the reps do. And that is something that they've struggled with since they started making these reps. That's my go-to. That's what I look for when I try to legit check these shoes. Early in my career on YouTube, I was looking desperately for an authentic pair. Unfortunately, I could never find one where the price matched the condition that I wanted them in, because obviously I buy these shoes to wear, but I couldn't find any. So I've since kind of given up on that. I may circle back around at some point, see if I can do some trades or something for it, because I do like this shoe, and this rep makes me remember that I do want this shoe. But we'll see how that happens. It's a debate between these and the Travis Scott High Fragments. We'll see. Also, to the touch, there was not as much give as there is for these now. You can see the back heel flexing. They're a lot harder on authentic pairs. They are not that flexible. After that, honestly, that is where I kind of stop and I draw the line at my own legit checking methods. I don't really pay much attention to this off-white text because position can vary a little bit. For me, usually the combination of stuff that I already pointed out is more than enough for me to be able to legit check. But there are, obviously there are other things that you can look at too. But other than that, guys, there's really not much left. I will do a courtesy blacklight test. I don't necessarily know what I'm looking for, but if you guys see anything, the experts that are out there, feel free to look. I'm expecting all the orange bits to light up and possibly the stitching around the shoe, but we'll see. The white stitching, I should say, but we'll see. So the white stitching is lighting up. The orange bits are lighting up, as I suspected. Not much else happening. Oh, looks like you got some kind of, it's either glue or some kind of paint correction or something in the sole. You've got the white stitch going all around the shoe lighting up. And you do have the mesh lighting up all throughout the shoe. I believe that's typical. That's normal. These shoes have been out for a while, so rep factories have worked on getting a lot of those details right, but the stuff that they can't get right has been wrong since I started looking at reps of these. So that's it. So at the end of every video, I tell you whether or not I think the shoe is legit checkable. These are completely legit checkable in my opinion. I don't think that any of the off-white Jordan 1s are gonna fool any legit checkers. They look fine on foot from what I understand, unless you get up close and you look at these things, but that's the name of the game. Off-white Jordan 1s, they're not as popular as they used to be. Travis Scott definitely cornered the market on Jordan 1s, but they still have a place in my heart. I think they're pretty dope. They're a really nice shoe. They were, at the forefront of shoes costing over $1,000. So Nike shoes at the very least. So that's it, guys. Remember, you can see more pictures of this shoe up on the screen, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.